Hi, I'm Tara Pfizer, and my right for life is his right for life. This is my defense for the pro-life stance. Abortion is a deeply controversial subject in our society today, challenging us to confront difficult questions and values the sanctity of life. My personal experience started at the age of 16 when my best friend Amy had to have an abortion because she got pregnant by her boyfriend and her parents made her have an abortion, but gave her a stereo system to try and make her feel better. Let me just let you know now, those emotional scars are still there. The stereo system didn't help it go away. That unborn child was wanted. And while her parents maybe didn't want it, she did. And maybe someone else did. So as we start looking at the pro-life stance, it's hard to not look at the biblical perspective. And when we look at the biblical perspective, we can look at Genesis 9:6, and it says, "Whoever sheds the blood of man, by man his blood shall be shed." But then again in Psalms 139:13-16, it says, "For God made man in his own image." That's all of us. And in Jeremiah 1:5, it also speaks to the pre-existence of the individuals before birth, highlighting God's divine knowledge of who we were before we were ever born. And additionally, in Exodus 20:13, God commands, "Do not murder." But then I have to go back to my favorite verse in Matthew 19:14. "Let the little children come to me, and do not hinder them, for such belongs the kingdom of heaven," further emphasizing the significance, value assigned to the children and their importance and their protection. One misconception about abortion is the necessity to save a mother's life. It's really one that's being used as a hot topic today in debate. However, this false narrative happens to be part of my testimony, because you see, at 27 weeks pregnant, after 2 healthy deliveries, I had a pregnancy that was not going so great. I was diagnosed with Bell's palsy. My body was shutting down. And after being at my doctor's office a lot that week, he decided it was time to send us to the hospital, never saying, "We need to take this baby. It's time for you to kill your baby to save your life." That was never his option given to us. So we got admitted, and within hours of being there, all of our alarms went off. His fetal monitor went off. My blood pressure plummeted. He had no heart tones at all. They rushed us to the OR, delivered him, got him resuscitated, sent him to the NICU. And I can tell you today, he is a healthy 21-year-old junior at Rollins College on an academic scholarship. Eli's name means God is high, and there's a purpose for that, because God is high and he has a purpose for every child, and he knew everything that is going to happen. So as we look at the controversy of medically necessary abortions, we can't help but look at what it means to have an abortion. So we know that in the early phases, there's misotrapidol 4 through 7 weeks. That means a big handful of pills, you go home, and you basically miscarry at home with a very nasty cramping, heavy blood, till you lose your baby. There's also suctioning the baby out to lose the baby. After 8 weeks, now we start getting into more complications, where the cervix has to be dilated and the baby actually has to be extracted. And the mother is put under to have that happen. So the mother's under anesthesia as this is going on. Now, in some states, we have the opportunity in our country to have abortions all the way up until your due date. So we know that in order for this to happen, it can be a 3-day process of Pitocin to make contractions happen, because this mom's at nothing. They kill the baby in utero, often pull the baby out piece by piece. So if you're telling me this mother is in medical jeopardy, this is not a safe way for her to have a baby. And no doctor would think that this was the best option for her or the baby. So as I'm wrapping this up today, I just want to reiterate, the sanctity of life is the utmost importance. And the best thing we can do is walk side by side with these mothers that are facing these complicated decisions. Understanding the pro-life perspective and supporting biblical teachings provides a foundation in defending the right to life. By challenging a false narrative surrounding the medical necessity for abortion, we can promote the availability for alternative medical procedures to safeguard the life of both the mother and the unborn child. Thank you very much.